Go. We're live. What's up, everybody? Chris with Profoto. First off, this is a talk about AI fusion, and I wanted to make a quick, tiny little statement. And that's, we made a mistake in the way that we communicated what AI fusion was. We believe in the product that we made, but we do own the mistake we made in the way that we communicate it to you. So today is all about bringing together the pioneers of this AI fusion technique, including the CEO of Profoto, Anders Hedebark. We have Lindsay Adler, Ines Thomsen, and Martin Dörsch. Did I do it?
That's close enough.
Close enough. I tried my best. I tried my absolute best. So we have the chat's open. We've seen your comments. We're gonna talk about all of that stuff. We have moderators behind the scenes who are gonna feed us some of the comments that we can talk about, and we're just going to have a great conversation in general. So please give us your questions. Let's chat. So hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi. It's like hello to us or hello to the universe.
Yeah, this is hello to you. This is hello to all you, my friends. I guess maybe the thing that we need to talk about in general is what the whole idea behind AI fusion is in photography. I know, kind of behind the scenes here for a second, Lindsay, you were talking about like it.
Bye, Chris.
Okay. Well, he says bye-bye.
The moderator is gone.
Oh,
I have no idea what happened. No idea what happened. But no. Yeah, I think let's just talk about kind of what AI fusion is to all of you and how you use it and how it makes a difference.
Sure. If you don't mind, I'll start because I actually think our other two creators are a little bit more experts than I am. So
please.
I think I'll be the more rudimentary. So my spiel about all of this is I have spent my entire life dedicated to being a visual creator, being a photographer. I've also done directing. I started doing this when I was 12. I started my business at 15. And so I have been pouring my heart and soul into this nonstop. And so when AI first entered the chat room, if you will, it wasn't that impressive, but it was interesting. And then I think it ramped up to something where all of a sudden I saw that this isn't something that is coming, it's something that's here now. I go on the subway here in New York, and if I'm sitting on the subway, let's say I can see in my eyesight 20 ads. I bet you 15 had AI involved in them in some way. And so because I love my field and I love what I do, I don't want to put my head in the sand about what's coming. And what I need to be aware of. So what I've been doing is I haven't been creating images solely out of AI. I have been doing my expertise in photography fused with elements of AI. And so I've actually done a few YouTube videos for this. I've done some for Profoto. I've done a few on my own channel where I'll create an environment. I'll then analyze the light in the environment. Then I'll shoot it in the studio and then I'll put them together. And now, don't get me wrong, as things are progressing in AI, I totally get people's arguments that, like, when are they going to need the photographer anymore? I think that is a very important discussion that we all have to have. But I just wanted to give a good example is because I've been doing this, I've actually been hired to do 2 celebrity shoots because the magazines wanted the AI fusion. So, for example, if you look at my portfolio, I don't have a single picture of a professional athlete, just not what I do. But I got asked to photograph a very famous football player called Devontae Smith. I just photographed him he plays for the Eagles. I got to photograph him for a cover of a magazine. They hired me because they saw that I could do AI fusion. And so my thought is this, like, I'm not trying to replace my job, but I'm also not trying to cut myself out of opportunities. So I have been doing it quite a bit, and I actually do find it fun. Like, it really is inspiring because I can do certain effects I could never have done in the past, certain environments or scenes that would have been too expensive. So that's currently how I'm using it. But I did want to make one other note is I am in no way saying like, hey, all photographers, you need to go do AI. I don't actually believe that at all. I think your brand and how you take your style is going to be really important. So for example, there was just a campaign and I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, that they filmed in New York, where it was a massive set that's a street scene with cars and people moving, and it was slow motion rain. It's amazing. It's done with like super high speed cameras. They could have absolutely done that in CG or AI, but they didn't. They chose to do it in camera because that was part of how they did the campaign, is check out these behind the scenes. Look how we stopped time. Like, they turned it into part of the product. So I think your expertise in photography and in creating images is going to be just as important as ever for those brands who want to make it very complicated in camera and prove that they can do it. So that's kind of where I'm existing in this world of, yes, AI, no AI, how do we use it? It's kind of where I live.
No, I love it. How about you, Martin?
100%. I can definitely say that's so true. And I want to add another layer on top of this. In a world where AI is getting easier to create stuff, let's state it like this, it's super important that you as a photographer, that you connect with your clients. And AI is a tool in your toolkit. As a photographer, we paint with light, and AI is a toolkit that we can go in and experience stuff that we never had before in a really, really fast pace. And I really like the aspect on AI, that AI opens our brain and it breaks the boundaries we have. And that's really, really cool. So I have a call, so I have to sneeze a little bit.
Yes, please. Ines, give us your insights on this.
Well, I really like what Lindsay said, because photography is my life. I love it. It's my passion. It's all I wanted to do my whole life. And for some people that know my story, photography saved my life, for real. And this is too deep now. But the thing is, I would never, ever do anything, that would destroy my career. I would just give everything that I can to stay relevant in this field, because I just love it. There's nothing else that I want to do as a job, I swear. So photography is my life, and knowing how to take pictures, how to use the gear, how to use light is what I want to do. So I figured out 3 years ago when AI was suddenly there. And for me, it was like, oh my God, I almost had a panic attack, because I thought, this is going to take away my job, my life. And then I figured, okay, wait, there are options. You can always say, okay, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to reject it. Or I just check out what I can do with it, maybe find something else that helps me, or that AI can help me with, that I could not do otherwise. And that's what I did. And that's why AI Fusion happened. Because I just tried it with musicians, and they loved it, because they wanted an environment that I could not have provided at all. No chance, because it didn't exist. And then I was like, oh, wow, this works. And we developed it further and further. And it's not like, I don't do it with brands that have the budget to fly to South Africa and we do it there. I would never say, oh, no, let's do it in the studio. No, of course, I want to be on location. I want to do those shoots. But there are also smaller brands. Like, for example, a friend of mine, she has a clothing brand, and she would not be able to fly with 8 people, 8 models, 3 makeup artists to South Africa or to Hawaii or wherever. It's just not possible. And for those brands, this is a big opportunity. But as we said, it only works if you have the knowledge as a photographer, the knowledge about lighting, about how to communicate with the people in the studio, because in the end, the way you communicate, the way you talk to people, the way you interact with the model in front of your lens will make the difference. 100%. And that's why we use the fusion, we use the backgrounds, but the real model, the real human connection and the human in focus, that's what we want. And that's why, yes, we use the new technology because it's here to stay, but we keep the human in focus. And that's what I will always want to emphasize on.
That's beautiful. And that's really, really fantastic insight from photographers who are doing really, really cool stuff. And I want to bring in you, Anders, to talk about what we see AI doing from the Profoto side.
First of all,
Yeah.
AI is here. Profoto, we are dedicated to light shaping and producing technology and marketing the technology all around the world for creators, photographers to make much better images. So we are not making the images. You guys are the creators. We are engineers. We are sales guys. We are trying to. We are spending not all, but big part of our funds in developing new technology for you to use. I've been doing this in this industry for more than 30 years. I started at Profoto in 97, so 28 years with Profoto. And I've done only one thing with Profoto, try to invest more in light shaping tools of different sorts, new generators, new lights, and follow the market. I see AI as I see in the chat that someone is referring to Photoshop, and I see it exactly as that. I'm old enough to be part of the from the digital transformation in imagery, and you know, every time you see new tools coming into market, AI is just a new tool. Yes, it's big, it's changing, it has many aspects, but still, it is only one tool for great image creators, great photographers to create great content that really communicates. And it communicates the vision that you guys have in your head and that you create. We are just, I use the word, we are just the humble servants of trying to help and produce things that could help you. We understand that you use a lot of other stuff. We are just part of your creative process. The only thing that we want to do, we want to support your creative process. We do not want to stand in the way. And I urge everyone, use the tools that you like, the tools that you can use. Use everything. And I have a lot of stories around that from the history that is simpler and stupid, but in the end created great images. So we are not the image makers. You guys are the image makers. We are the technicians and the people trying to provide this into the market, and we will continue to do that. I've done it basically all my life, and I will continue to do that and drive Profoto in that direction to hopefully support you more. Use AI. Do not use AI. We are spending our money on real stuff so that you could do better, possibly, hopefully, but I'm not the judge of that. You are the judge of it.
Yeah. So let's a question that was, Petapixel wrote an article about this conversation, where they expressed Profoto's not using the marketing budget to wholly human photography and creativity, but the same kind of saying that kind of we just jumped on the bandwagon, and I was wondering what everyone's thought on that is.
Yeah.
So I need to start on that because
Okay.
Sorry, you please add on. So we, as I just said, we're spending our money on trying to see where is the market going, what is happening. In the end, we find it most beneficial for us to develop new products for you guys to use in the context that you choose to do that. We are pointing out with you, Lindsay, with you, Ines and Martin, things that could be used. Use it the way you want. And I will never, and we will never, ever tell you what is the best way to do it. I learned this already in 1995. Then I learned. I launched the product. Sorry, now I'm off there. I launched a product. It was called the Flex Body at Hasselblad, where I worked at that time. And I said, and I was 100% sure. Use the product this way. And we had this great photographer. He used it in a totally different way. Created images I couldn't even imagine. Why did he do that? And it blew my mind. And I learned at that point, don't ever, never try to tell creators what to do. You have a special mind, use your mind, and go all the way. In the end, as you said, Lindsay, smart marketeers are using all the capacity, all the tools to market their products. And I actually, sorry to, now I'm keeping on talking here. I'm actually, I'm on vacation and I'm on a ski trip, and I sat next to the biggest retailer in Sweden. They had a big problem. They're not selling their products enough. They're actually using our products also. And in the end, they're not, and I told him, and he agreed 100%, they're not using good enough photographers, image creators, to actually convey the vision that the photographer together with the company should do. And they would say they have great products but not selling enough. And this is exactly, it gave me confidence to say this. I am not the guy, you are the guys. Use your brain, use your vision, put that on great images. Use AI, do not use AI, use Photoshop. All of you are doing that anyway. So this will happen. We will just support you guys with great light shaping. Tell us, give me feedback, give us feedback what to do, and we will try to do a lot of new products for you.
I appreciate that on the road you're advocating for photographers. Hey, major brand, your photography sucks. Go hire photo shooters. I like that. That's good.
100%. So I just wanted to, let's get deeper into it too. I just wanted to make sure you're kind of highlighting along the things, say like Dan was, saying like what you guys are saying, AI fusion is the same thing as Photoshop, just, a part of the image creating process. He's like, and I would say things like content aware fill and stuff like that. People use things like that. Like this is just another one of those tools along the line. And then also Scott Matthews was saying, a client quoted to him the other day, AI won't replace people, it will replace people that don't embrace or utilize it, which
maybe yes, maybe no.
You never know.
I truly just think it is a giant spectrum of where people are going to choose to place their brand. Because some photographers are going to lean into the idea that they're capturing authentic moments and their images are arbiters of truth, for example. And then I think there's going to be people in the middle that are like, you know what, I'm serving my clients. Whatever my clients need and want, that's what I'm going to provide them. And then there's going to be other people who say, you know what, this opens me up to things I never would have been able to do before. And then they cut out the photography part entirely. We don't really have a choice over what people are going to choose. I think you choose where you're going to brand and market yourself, but pretending that just saying like, hey, I don't want to do this, so no one else should. The world doesn't work like that. And so I'm just trying to be really pragmatic about it. One of the questions I saw someone ask was, what do we view as the limitations of AI, and what makes you decide where the real photography parts of an image are better to achieve a vision? So to be honest, whatever I see as limitations of AI may not exist 6 months or a year from now. Like whatever I say now can be time-stamped and be completely irrelevant. So I'll just tell you at the moment, the people that have hired me to do fusion images, it's because the whole point was that the subject was there and they made a production out of it. So the celebrity was there and they had the behind the scenes and they had the actual designer clothing on them and they did an interview. And so it was not the photography standalone that was the only important part. It was the entire product that they were producing. So, for example, yesterday I did a shoot and we had mostly in camera, a couple AI fusion moments, but they had BTS camera. They had someone interviewing her for the article. So at the moment, I think it's my clients, thankfully, want the whole process. I'm reading other questions.
Yeah, we're also actively looking at y'all's questions and comments. So
exactly, I'm like scanning.
I just saw the question about the interaction with the model on location, and this sets the vibe. And I 100% agree. So for me, it's like, to be honest, I never thought that I could be a photographer because I always thought that I'm not creative enough. Super crazy that I'm now a professional photographer sitting here and talking about AI and photography, because I figured that my creativity is just different. So what I do, I have to be on set, at the location with my model. Then I feel the vibes. Then I get the inspiration, and then my creativity comes. But nobody told me when I was younger that this is also creativity. I thought you have to have the perfect image in your head before you go to a shoot. But I my brain just doesn't work like that. So my creativity actually starts on location. So for me, this was also a little bit difficult because, normally I need that part. But with the knowledge that I gathered the last years, I can actually make that switch. So I get inspired by the people on set still, although we're in the studio, but so then it's my opportunity and my, how do you say this in English? I have to take the people there. So I have to make them feel like they would be on set, on location. So it's actually a little bit more difficult for me as a photographer, but I love it because I can try to make them feel comfortable, although they're in the studio and should act as if they're on location somewhere.
Yes.
So
And maybe I can add exactly on this right now, because the question is, what is AI fusion? And the thing is, what you told right now, if you're in a studio and you want to convey the person in front of your camera, you're right now on an island or whatever, then it's super important that you have the image you have generated in whatever AI system up front, so that the people can resonate with this image and feel to be on the beach or whatever. So it's really important to have the background image before you go to the studio, before you build your light, before you do the shoot, because then you can match everything together and you can use all the tools you have in your arsenal.
That's the only way it looks real in the end. If the light doesn't fit the scene, forget the image. That's the thing, and that's the knowledge about lighting that we have.
Yeah. And I think this is an interesting comment too, and it says, they're saying that who are photographers going to lose the jobs to anyway? Like CEOs and business owners aren't going to spend the time learning all this stuff so that they can make their images. And I think that's a good point. I think a lot of times the people in those positions are going to be using AI to figure out how to do their jobs better, not necessarily worrying about the creative aspects of things, and they still leave that to the creators.
I also want to make sure I don't in any way want people to think that I don't even think that we as a whole are necessarily cheerleading AI. I truly am not. I don't want anyone to be confused, because in that question, for example, where you're saying like, who are they going to lose a job to? Other people. Like there will absolutely be other people that can step in and create images where the photographer's cut out completely. Like that's a reality I see in my example on the subway. I can spot them, the differences. How long until I can't? Like it's it'll be very soon. So I think, what I want to like drive home for people is I consider myself an image maker, and then I'm for how I work, and I'm serving my client. I would love to spend the rest of my life just clicking the camera, but I'm just trying to be aware of what is coming down the pipeline and just go, okay, so how am I going to use this or not use this? How am I going to position myself with branding? I just think I would love to hate on it, but we really don't have a choice. Our industry has to figure out what role this is going to play. And then whether we embrace it or shun it, I think is going to be on the individual artist level. So there's that part of it. But I also think having productive conversations, like having real conversations where we discuss it, is actually more helpful than just hating it, because I feel like most of us don't I think most of us prefer it weren't here. I really do. Like, even if a lot of people want to be like, yeah, and I'm using it for creativity, like we are. Yeah, but I would choose to not if I had the choice. So my point is, I think productive conversations where we figure out, hey guys, how are we going to use this? How are we going to position ourselves? How are we going to not use this? Like, I think we have to have these conversations. I think that's the only way we figure out what to do with our futures, truly.
Yeah.
So may I just add to something here, because
Yes, please.
I'm trying to read the chat room at the same time.
Yeah.
So our official Profoto official view on this is that we do not control the circumstances and the surrounding ideas, what is happening in new technology, new cameras, a new technology of any sort. we do not promote in any way any cameras is better than anything, any AI, and if you should use Photoshop or which computer you should use whatever you want. The only thing we do at Profoto, we understand that there's a lot of things that you need as an image creator, but we for sure believe in one thing: it's in human creating great images with the tools that you have that is surrounding you. You could use anything, use whatever you want. We also believe that images that has this human touch, meaning that the creators are driving their vision into the images in one way or another. We are there to support in the real light shaping. That is our part of the market. We are not doing anything like promoting anything else on this. We're not promoting what other products you should use. We would very much like you to use more Profoto and use all our accessories to shape the light in different ways. And you could do, we really recommend you to do that. But we are not recommending anything outside our universe. But you, Lindsay, you, Ines, and Martin, you should use anything in any way to try to create and faster put your vision into great images. So that is what we are trying to do, and we have a very limited scope. We do believe about photography, and photography, as all of us knows, is based on Greek, and it's writing or painting, as you said, with Martin, with light. So no light, no images. That is what we're trying to do.
Yes.
100%.
Thank you.
Sorry, looking through the comments here.
Same.
And
as a note, it's
go ahead.
interesting. So there's another company. So Adobe just created something called the Creative Collective, and what they did is they took a couple artists from different industries, and so they have a couple of photographers. I'm one of them. They also have graphic designers and visual effects artists and videographers and whatnot. And the entire point of this collective is to talk. And it's not to necessarily take a stance. It's to discuss how things are affecting our industry, whether that be visual effects or graphic design. Like every single creative industry is being affected. And I think many of these industries are having similar conversations as we're having right now. Like what is the future of our jobs, but also what is the role of the human touch? When is it a support? When is it a replacement? Like all of these things. And someone in the comments just mentioned that their friend lost a job because they used AI on something. I'm guessing from what it says, it sounded like they were shooting for Getty or AP. And so the idea there is the images in that case are meant to represent truth and reality. And that's the whole point of the images represented on those sites. And so I think another thing we'll have to decide in the future is if there's a way that we indicate that images are real or reality. And like, what is the role of the image in that case? So where this is actually leading me to is a good example of my work has always been fantasy. All of it. The way the models look, the clothing, the hair and makeup, the lighting, none of it is rooted in reality. Like all of it is highly fantasy, which means it's not representing truth in like one of the goals that I'm trying to create out of my work. So it's really interesting because it cleaves photography. It starts at like, what is the role of your images? And I actually think in some ways it makes the artists be more reflective of what their style and artist statement is. Like, is their goal through their work to show truth? Is their goal of their work to create fantasy? Is the goal of their work to serve clients? Like, I think it's kind of pushing it in our faces a little bit more forcefully in a way that I think can be good for artists to decide, like, what does my work mean?
Yeah. And so just kind of looking down here too, and Brad's Brad seems pretty upset about this whole thing. And, he's saying, there's a way to get close to AI without looking like you're championing the technology.
Yeah, my
and I
word.
don't think, yeah, and I don't think necessarily we're championing the technology. I think we're looking at the reality of like it's here. Like we don't control it. We're not in control of what we weren't in control when cameras went digital. We weren't in control when people started doing heavy composites in Photoshop. We were never in control. It's just it's where we are. And I think if we stick our head in the sand and pretend like it's not here, you can get left behind, but that's not, and this is just me talking. I don't want to act like I'm talking from Profoto. I'm talking from more of a photographer side. It's like if we stick our heads in the sand and don't pretend like these tools don't exist, like what's going to happen when the world passes us by? And it's not, yeah. And so I don't want it to sound like we're championing this. We're just saying, hey, like, guess what? There's a new avenue. And we just want to show you that this avenue exists and how we can support that from the Profoto side with light shaping tools. And so I don't want anyone to, because that's not what this conversation's about. It's not about us telling you that you're going to be replaced by AI and you need to get over it. It's not it. It just is a tool and it is here. No matter how mad any of us get about it and how much we worry about it, it's here. I don't know what else to say. And so if you can take that tool and learn how to use it in a way that benefits you, and maybe it's not from the image creation standpoint or in a way that aids you, but it's just here, and we have to adapt. We've had to adapt every single time something new's happened. We just have to do it again, and it hurts sometimes.
I want to add on this because just AI is here and you can do everything with it. Just don't do it. Experiment, try stuff, but try to stay on what's your photography and what's your style.
Right.
Because the tool can do anything, it's not the best option to go for everywhere, because then nobody else knows what your style is. So stay true to yourself.
Then that's basically what I was trying to say. I totally agree. It's like, if you hate it, don't use it. But I think make part of your brand is like, I achieve this without it. Go for it. Like, but then include behind the scenes and include why that's important to you. Like that's your artist statement, your artist belief. Lean into it.
Let me put some confidence into this discussion, all of you listening. We are also working heavily with e-com companies selling mostly apparel on the internet. Mm-hmm. And if you look on that, they are not even close to enough content that they would need in order to sell and promote their products. I would say they are on 10% at the tops what they need. They don't have enough imagery, they don't have enough videos, they're not driving traffic enough. So there's so many things to do. So and we are even selling. So there are some companies saying we are only going to do our products with AI, and even to those companies they are recently investing in new Profoto gear because they need photographers to shoot their products. I know it's a changing market. This is what business is about. It's always changing. You could never stop the change. In my world, embrace the change, use the change as good as you can, and look what is happening around you. That you can't. There is nothing else to do, and we all need to live this life if we want to be in business in one way or another.
Yeah, and just one other thing, and Brad, I get that you're really, really passionate about this, and I this is what I'm going to end what we're talking about with that. And he's saying, the whole avenue and how AI is putting photographers out of business and just let's say it says this avenue is causing photographers to go out of business. Anyone just throwing their hands in the air and say deal with it is helping to kill real photography. But everyone said that we were killing real photography when we went digital. Like every time that we've had to change, everyone said that we were killing photography. That's not true. you don't have to use it. And if you love making composites with these dynamite backgrounds that you make, you keep doing that because that's what makes your photography yours. I think that goes right back to what Martin and Lindsay were saying. It's like, just because AI exists, it doesn't read your mind. It doesn't know your creative process. It doesn't know how you think. And you and I can both look at, be presented with an idea and come up with drastically different ideas. AI is just helping some people do certain things, but it's not, we're not, again, championing this to replace anything. So I think the whole idea behind like things are going to put people out of business, people doing bad business is going to put photographers out of business. Like it could be a million things, but I think change hurts.
No, sorry, Chris. You should love change. Don't put it like that. No, don't do that. I don't mean it. Stop. Because we have the, of course, it's change. But what is the opportunity? You have to embrace change, and you use the change that's happening in any way, because there's a lot of opportunities. Of course, there's a lot of threats. It's dangerous with everything you do, but there's a lot of possibilities in this also. Hard, difficult, cumbersome. It will cost you a lot of investment in time. You need to work hard. Profoto is doing that every day. We are facing severe new competition. We are facing, for the American market, there is a lot of new import tariffs. There's a lot of other stuff that is changing. We need to find new ways, adapt to what is changing. I cannot change that. No one can change that. This is the way of life. Just embrace it, work with it.
And I think we as photographers are really good at like adapting to change, right? I mean, look at the last couple of years. So much has changed. And yes, we just embraced it. We did it. Like all of us take pictures with a digital camera, right? I guess nobody works with analog here in this sort, like Lindsay, Martin, and me, or Chris. We use digital cameras because it's just handy, right? We use the eye autofocus often because it's handy. And this is all like there's AI integrated in so many tools already that we embrace. And as I said, we as photographers, we're good at adapting. It's just, as you said, it's an opportunity and it can be challenging, and that's what we're trying to figure out as well.
Yeah. And I think that's a solid point. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out, and this has been a really, really fun discussion, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come voice your opinions, talk about kind of your workflow with this, and I appreciate all the passion in the comments. I really do. I mean, it just shows that you love what it is that you do, and that you're here for this. And we at Profoto really, really appreciate it. We appreciate we appreciate all the feedback that you've given us throughout this whole process. And hopefully this helps you better understand our thoughts behind what it is that we are trying to achieve by talking about this in general. So with that being said, does anyone have anything they want to end with?
Yes.
Please.
AI, use whatever tool you can, whatever it is, everything you want, what pleases you. In the end, we are trying to support the market. There's new stuff happening from Profoto, and it's happening soon in the US and in the rest of the world. So look on that. We are keeping on investing more and more money into product development, and our engineers are working relentlessly to try to do that. It is hard. We work hard, and we are very much appreciative of everyone that are using or looking into our products. Thank you so much for building the brand. You are the brand. Great photographers is the Profoto brand. We support that with great technology. Thank you.
And we appreciate everyone. So with that being said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you all for coming in and hanging and having this discussion. We really appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Have a great day.